I sit across from my brother Austin at our family dinner, fork frozen halfway to my mouth. The dining room buzzes with conversation. Aunts, uncles, cousins all gathered for Mom's birthday celebration. The smell of roasted chicken fills the air, candles flicker on the table. Then Austin raises his wine glass and smiles, that confident smile I know too well. "So, Sophia's idea for the eco-device?" he says, his voice carrying across the table. "The one that converts kinetic energy into power? Yeah, that's basically mine now. I've been working on it for months." Laughter erupts. Uncle Frank claps Austin on the back. Aunt Denise raises her glass. My parents beam with pride at their charismatic son. My stomach drops like a stone sinking in water. 11 months. 11 months of weekends locked in my garage workshop, testing circuits until my hands cramped, debugging code at 3 a.m., negotiating with component suppliers who barely took me seriously. 11 months of work dismissed in one sentence. Austin leans back in his chair, soaking up congratulations. He doesn't even glance at me, doesn't acknowledge that I'm sitting right here watching him steal my achievement. My phone buzzes in my pocket. Once. Twice. Insistent. I pull it out under the table, my heart pounding with anger and disbelief. The notification makes my breath catch. The email is from the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Subject line: Patent application status update application #US 2025-963XYZ. My hands start trembling as I tap it open. Dear Ms. Sophia Foster, we are pleased to inform you that your patent application for portable kinetic energy harvesting device has been approved. Your patent number is US 11-847-392. All design specifications, technical schematics, and operational parameters are now protected under federal patent law. I read it again. Then again. Every circuit diagram, every prototype iteration, every line of code in the companion app. Officially mine. Legally, permanently, irrevocably mine. Austin is still talking, describing his vision for the device to our cousin Bennett. I knew from the start this would change how people think about personal power generation, he says with sweeping hand gestures. I look up from my phone. Austin's smile is wide, his confidence unshakable. He has absolutely no idea what I'm reading right now. He doesn't know that 4 months ago I filed the patent application. He doesn't know that while he was making suggestions at family dinners, I was working with a patent attorney to document every technical detail, every innovation, every design choice. Austin's smile falters slightly when he notices me staring at him. There's a flicker of uncertainty in his eyes. My phone buzzes again. Another email notification. This one from my patent attorney Vanessa. I haven't opened it yet. I just watch Austin continue his performance, claiming ownership of something he barely understands. I think back to how this all started. 12 months ago, sitting in my garage surrounded by broken circuit boards and failed prototypes. The idea came to me during a power outage. What if we could capture energy from everyday movements and convert it into usable electricity? I spent weeks researching piezoelectric materials, studying energy conversion ratios, teaching myself microcontroller programming I'd never learned in my computer science degree. My day job as a software developer gave me coding skills, but hardware engineering was completely new territory. I watched hundreds of tutorial videos. I read academic papers until my eyes burned. I ordered components from suppliers in 3 different countries, piecing together knowledge from forums and technical documentation. Austin showed up exactly twice during those 12 months. The first time 6 months ago he glanced at my prototype and said, "You should make it smaller." The second time 2 weeks ago he suggested I pick a better color for the casing on my marketing mock-up. 2 visits. 2 superficial comments that I didn't even implement. And now he's telling our entire family that this invention, this device I built from nothing, is his achievement. My chest tightens with rage, but I force myself to breathe slowly. Everyone at this table believes Austin. They always have. He's the social one, the charismatic one, the golden child who can charm anyone. But charisma doesn't file patents. Documentation does. Hard work does. And I have 11 months of documentation proving every single innovation was mine alone. Austin leans back even further in his chair, one arm draped casually over the backrest. He's completely in his element now, holding court, telling stories about his development process. The trickiest part, he explains to Uncle Frank, was figuring out the energy conversion efficiency. Took me weeks of calculations to optimize the piezoelectric array. I almost choke on my water. Austin failed college physics. Twice. He couldn't calculate energy conversion ratios if his life depended on it. I know because I'm the one who did all those calculations, filling 3 notebooks with equations and simulations. I sip my wine slowly, watching him over the rim of my glass. He catches my eye and winks like we're sharing some kind of inside joke. Like I'm supposed to be complicit in this lie. My phone buzzes again. I glance down discreetly at Vanessa's message. Congratulations. First licensing inquiry already received. The tech firm saw the patent filing and wants a meeting ASAP. Forwarding their contact info now. My heart races. A licensing inquiry? The patent was approved less than 15 minutes ago and companies are already reaching out? I look back at Austin. He's launched into another story about overcoming technical challenges that he never actually faced. Our cousin Olivia asks specific questions about the circuit design, questions I know he can't really answer. Well, it's pretty complex, Austin says with a vague hand wave. Lots of proprietary technology involved. Trade secrets and all that. He has no idea what the actual technology involves. Zero understanding of how the device works, what materials I used, or why I made specific design choices. But our family nods along, impressed by his confident delivery. They believe him because Austin has always been the achiever, the successful one, the child who makes our parents proud. I set down my glass carefully. A plan is forming in my mind. Austin wants credit for my work? Let's see how that works out for him. My phone vibrates with another text. This time it's from Vanessa. 3 companies requesting meetings now. Patent approval is perfectly timed. These firms were clearly watching this technology space. Your innovation just became highly valuable. Call me tomorrow. 3 companies. 3 different firms want to discuss licensing within 30 minutes of patent approval. Austin's voice cuts through my thoughts. Of course, the next challenge is scaling up production. I've been reaching out to manufacturing partners. Really? I speak up for the first time since his announcement. My voice is calm, controlled. Which manufacturing partners specifically? Austin blinks, surprised that I'm engaging. Oh, several firms in the tech manufacturing space. I've got some calls scheduled next week. With which companies? Can you name them? His smile tightens just slightly. I don't want to jinx anything by announcing too early. You understand how negotiations work, Sophia. I know exactly how they work. Because I'm the one who's actually been negotiating with suppliers. For the past 8 months. I have contacts at 4 different manufacturing firms. Austin wouldn't know where to begin. Dad reaches over and squeezes Austin's shoulder proudly. We're so excited for you, son. This could really be something special. Could it be? Austin laughs. Dad, this is going to be huge. I'm talking about international distribution, licensing deals, maybe even venture capital. My phone buzzes yet again. I glance down. Another email, this time from a company called Blue Tech Industries. The subject line reads, Patent hashtag US 11, 847, 392 Partnership Inquiry. I nearly dropped my glass. Blue Tech Industries is one of the largest tech manufacturers in North America. They're not just interested, they're actively reaching out. Austin is still talking, painting grand visions of his future success. He has absolutely no idea that the legal foundation for everything he's claiming just shifted entirely into my control. The patent is mine. The technology is mine. The opportunity is mine. And he's about to find out exactly what that means. Dinner continues with Austin basking in praise and congratulations. I stay quiet, responding politely when someone addresses me directly but mostly observing. Mom keeps glancing between Austin and me, a slight crease of concern on her forehead. She knows something's off but can't quite identify what. After dessert, as people start clearing dishes and moving to the living room, I slip away to the bathroom. I lock the door and open the email from Blue Tech Industries. Dear Ms. Foster, we were impressed by your recently approved patent filing for the portable kinetic energy harvesting device. Blue Tech Industries is interested in exploring potential production and licensing partnerships. Your innovative approach to piezoelectric energy conversion addresses a significant market need. Would you be available for a preliminary discussion this week? This is real. This is actually happening. Major companies are taking my invention seriously. I replied quickly, "Thank you for your interest. I'm available for a call Thursday afternoon or Friday morning. I look forward to discussing how we might work together." I take a moment to steady myself, looking at my reflection in the mirror. My face is flushed, my eyes bright with a mixture of anger and excitement. Austin is out there claiming my achievement. But the legal reality is crystal clear. I own the patent. I control the technology. Companies want to work with me, not him. When I return to the living room, Austin is showing people something on his phone. Probably photos of my prototypes that he took during his brief visits to my garage. I settle onto the couch and within minutes my phone pings with yet another message. This time it's not from a company. It's from a journalist at Tech Venture magazine, a major industry publication. "Ms. Foster, we noticed your patent approval for innovative energy harvesting technology. Tech Venture would be interested in featuring your invention in our upcoming Emerging Innovations issue. Would you be available for an interview?" An interview? In a major tech magazine? About my invention? I glance at Austin, who's still entertaining our relatives with stories about his development process. He's explaining to Aunt Denise how he had to learn so much about microelectronics and power management systems. The irony would be funny if it wasn't so infuriating. Austin barely knows what a microcontroller is. I type a response to the journalist. "Thank you for reaching out. I'd be happy to discuss my invention with you. Please send interview details and I'll confirm my availability." My cousin Bennett sits down next to me. "Hey Sophia. Austin said you helped him with some of the software side of his device." Helped him? Like I was an assistant contributing minor support to his grand vision. "Actually," I say carefully, "I developed the entire system. Hardware and software. Austin offered a couple of suggestions, but the invention is mine." Bennett's eyebrows rise. "Oh, that's not how Austin made it sound." "I know. But the patent filing tells the truth." I pull up the patent approval email and show him my screen, specifically my name listed as the sole inventor. Bennett reads it, his expression shifting from confusion to understanding. "Wait, so you built everything?" "Yes. Austin showed up twice in 12 months. I have timestamps, development logs, purchase records. Everything proves I did this alone." Bennett looks between me and Austin, who's across the room laughing with Uncle Frank. "Sophia, you should say something. This isn't right." "I will. But not tonight. Not at Mom's birthday dinner." I close my phone. Let Austin enjoy his moment. Reality will catch up with him soon enough. Later that night, after most guests have left, Austin corners me in the kitchen while I'm helping clean up. "So," he says, leaning against the counter with that familiar confidence. "Pretty exciting, right? The device is getting so much interest." I dry a dish slowly, not looking at him. "What interest specifically?" "You know, from potential investors, manufacturers. People are going to want in on this." "People like who, Austin?" He waves his hand vaguely. "Various firms. I've been getting inquiries." "You've been getting inquiries?" I set down the dish and face him directly. "Austin, when exactly did you file the patent application?" He blinks. "What? The patent? When did you file it? What's the application number?" I don't have it memorized, Sophia." "Who memorizes application numbers?" "Someone who actually filed one might." I pull out my phone and show him the approval email. "This is the patent for the kinetic energy harvester. Filed 4 months ago. Approved today. Application number US 2025-963XYZ. Notice whose name is on it." Austin's face goes pale as he reads. His confident expression crumbles into confusion, then something like panic. You filed a patent? Without telling me? Without telling you?" I almost laughed. "Austin, this is my invention. You offered 2 suggestions I didn't use. That doesn't make you a co-inventor. But we talked about this. I helped you think through. You said make it smaller, which wasn't technically feasible, and pick a better color, which has nothing to do with the technology." My voice stays calm but firm. "That's not a contribution. That's a conversation." Austin sets down his wine glass with more force than necessary. "Sophia, come on. We can work together on this. We're family. Why does everything have to be so competitive?" "Competitive? Austin, you stood up at dinner and claimed my entire invention as yours. You told everyone you spent months working on something I actually built. That's not competition, that's theft. I didn't mean it like that. How did you mean it then? Explain to me how, that's basically mine now, is anything other than claiming ownership. He runs his hand through his hair, a gesture he always makes when cornered. Okay, I got carried away. I was excited, people were asking questions, and I wanted to be part of something successful. By erasing my role entirely? I wasn't trying to erase you. He stops, searching for words. Look, you're always so quiet about your accomplishments. I thought I was helping bring attention to the project. By saying it was yours. Austin's jaw tightens. He realizes he has no good defense. So what happens now? Now. I picked up another dish to dry. Now companies that want to license the technology will work with me because my name is on the patent. Journalists who want to write about it will interview me. Investors who want to back production will meet with me. Because I'm the inventor, Austin. Not you. You're really going to cut me out completely? I'm not cutting you out, you were never in. I meet his eyes steadily. You can't be cut out of something you never contributed to. Mom walks into the kitchen, sensing the tension. Everything okay here? Fine, Austin says quickly. Just talking about the project. Mom looks at me. I just nod. This isn't the time or place for a full family confrontation. But it's coming. Over the next 3 days, my phone becomes a hub of constant activity. Blue Tech Industries schedules a video call for Thursday. TechVenture magazine confirms an interview for Friday. 2 additional manufacturers reach out expressing interest in licensing discussions. I spend my evenings preparing presentations, organizing technical documentation, and rehearsing explanations of how the device works. Everything Austin claimed to have done, I can actually demonstrate and explain in detail. Wednesday evening, I'm in my garage workshop, my real workspace where all the actual work happened, when Austin shows up unannounced. Sophia, we need to talk. His tone is different now. Less confident, more desperate. About what? About the patent. About the business opportunities. About working together. I set down my soldering iron. Austin, I have a call with Blue Tech Industries tomorrow. A major manufacturer wants to discuss licensing my technology. What exactly do you think you're bringing to that conversation? I could help with business development, marketing, investor relations. Based on what experience? Austin, you work in sales for a pharmaceutical company. You know nothing about tech manufacturing or licensing. I know how to network. I know how to pitch ideas to people. You're good at talking. That's not the same as understanding business strategy. I turn back to my workbench. The companies reaching out want technical expertise and innovation. They want the person who actually built this. That's not you. Austin is quiet for a long moment. Then, you're really going to do this alone? Shut me out completely? I'm going to do what I've been doing for 12 months. Working on my own invention. You're welcome to pursue your own projects, Austin. But this one is mine. The family is going to think you're being selfish. I spin around. The family believed your lie at dinner. They congratulated you for my work. And you let them. So if anyone has an explanation to do, it's you. Thursday afternoon arrives. I'm in my home office, laptop open and prepared notes beside me. The video call with Blue Tech Industries begins promptly at 2 p.m. 3 executives join the call. The Director of Product Development, the Head of Manufacturing and their Chief Technology Officer. Ms. Foster, thank you for taking the time, the Product Development Director begins. We've reviewed your patent filing with great interest. The piezoelectric approach you've taken is innovative, and the power conversion efficiency you've documented is impressive. For the next 90 minutes, we discuss technical specifications, manufacturing scalability, potential applications and licensing structures. They ask detailed questions about circuit design, material choices and software integration. I answer every single question with confidence and precision. This is my invention. I know every component, every design decision, every line of code. Your documentation is exceptionally thorough, the CTO notes. It's clear you have a deep technical understanding of every system element. I designed it from the ground up, I explained. Every circuit, every algorithm, every optimization. We noticed the patent lists you as sole inventor. Is that accurate? Completely accurate, I developed this independently over 12 months using my own resources, equipment, and time. The executives exchange glances. The manufacturing head leans forward. Ms. Foster, Blue Tech would like to explore a licensing partnership. We believe your technology has significant commercial potential. Would you be open to negotiating terms? My heart pounds, but I keep my voice steady. I'm very interested in discussing partnership terms. What timeline are you considering? We spend another 30 minutes outlining preliminary terms. By the time the call ends, I have a formal proposal coming next week and a follow-up meeting scheduled. I close my laptop and sit back, overwhelmed. This is really happening. My invention, my work, is being taken seriously by a major manufacturer. My phone buzzes. A text from Austin. How'd the call go? I stare at the message. He still thinks he deserves updates, like he's somehow entitled to information about my business. I don't respond. Friday's interview with Tech Venture magazine happens in person at a coffee shop downtown. The journalist, Kimberly Torres, arrives with a recorder and notepad. Sophia, thanks for meeting with me. Your patent approval has generated buzz in tech circles. Can you walk me through how you developed this device? I spent an hour detailing my journey. The initial concept during a power outage, the months of research and experimentation, the technical challenges I overcame, the suppliers I worked with, the iterations and failures before success. Kimberly takes detailed notes. This is impressive. Did you have any partners or collaborators in the development? No. I worked independently. I did consult with a few suppliers and got feedback from potential users, but the design and development were entirely mine. I ask because I saw some social media posts suggesting this was a collaborative family project. I pause, choosing my words carefully. My brother Austin made some comments at a family dinner that misrepresented his involvement. He visited my workshop twice and offered 2 suggestions, neither of which I implemented. He wasn't involved in the actual development. Kimberly's eyebrows rise. So he claimed credit for your work? He implied ownership that wasn't accurate. But the patent filing makes clear who the actual inventor is. The interview continues for another 40 minutes. Kimberly asks about my plans for commercialization, my vision for the technology's applications, and my advice for other independent inventors. As we're wrapping up, Kimberly says, "This will run in next month's issue. I'll send you the draft for review before publication." That evening, Austin called me. I let it go to voicemail. He calls again. Then again. Finally, a text. "Sophia, people are asking me about the device and I don't know what to tell them. Can we please talk?" I text back. "Tell them the truth, it's not your invention." The Tech Venture article publishes 3 weeks later. The headline reads, Sophia Foster, the independent inventor behind breakthrough energy harvesting technology. The article details my development process, includes photos of my garage workshop and prototypes, and explains the technical innovation behind my device. There's one paragraph about Austin. Foster's brother Austin initially suggested at a family gathering that he was involved in the project's development. However, patent records and Foster's documentation confirm she is the sole inventor, having developed the technology independently over 12 months. That one paragraph destroys Austin's narrative completely. The article goes viral in tech circles. 20,000 shares in the first 2 days. My phone explodes with messages. Former college classmates congratulated me. Industry professionals wanting to connect. 2 venture capital firms requesting meetings. And several messages from family members. Just read the article. Can you explain what happened with Austin? I craft a simple response I send to multiple relatives. The article is accurate. I developed the technology alone. Austin's involvement was minimal, but he misrepresented it at Mom's birthday dinner. The patent records confirm everything. Austin's social media presence changes noticeably. His bio, which briefly mentioned tech innovation, now reverts to just his actual pharmaceutical sales job. He stops posting about the device entirely. Mom calls me. "Sophia, honey, I'm confused. Austin said you were working together." "Mom, I built this alone. Austin showed up twice. That's it. He can't name a single component, explain how it works, or answer technical questions because he wasn't involved." There's a long pause. "Why didn't you say something at dinner?" "Because it was your birthday. I didn't want to cause a scene." But the truth needed to come out eventually. Blue Tech Industries sends their formal licensing proposal. The terms are generous. 12% royalty on all units sold, minimum guaranteed payments, and co-branding that highlights me as the original inventor. I review everything with Vanessa, my patent attorney. Sophia, this is an excellent offer. Blue Tech is serious about bringing this to market, and these terms protect your interests. What about exclusivity? Can I license to multiple manufacturers? The proposal is non-exclusive in different market segments. So you could license to Blue Tech for consumer applications and potentially to another firm for industrial applications. I spend 3 days reviewing every clause before signing. The moment I return the executed contract, Blue Tech's team sends a press release. Blue Tech Industries partners with inventor Sophia Foster to bring revolutionary energy harvesting device to market. The press release triggers another wave of media attention. Local news wants to interview me. A podcast about innovation invites me as a guest. A university asks me to speak to their engineering students. Meanwhile, Austin has gone quiet. No more calls, no more texts, no more attempts to insert himself into my success. Until he shows up at my house on a Saturday morning. I open the door to find Austin standing on my porch, looking uncomfortable and tired. "Can I come in?" he asks. I hesitate, then step aside. We sit in my living room, the tension thick between us. I read the article. Austin begins. "And I saw the Blue Tech announcement." I wait, saying nothing. "You were right. About everything. I made 2 stupid comments and then acted like I'd built the whole thing." He looks down at his hands. "I don't know why I did that. Maybe because you're always so quiet about your accomplishments and I wanted, I don't know, credit for something impressive. At my expense." "At your expense?" "Yeah." He meets my eyes. "Sophia, I'm sorry. Really sorry. I was jealous and insecure and I tried to steal something that was entirely yours." It's the first genuine apology he's offered. "Why were you jealous? You have a good job, you're successful. But you're brilliant. You always have been. You taught yourself electronics and coding and manufacturing. You built something from nothing while I'm just selling pharmaceuticals. When I saw what you'd created, I wanted to be part of something that mattered." The honesty catches me off guard. "Austin, you could build your own things. You could develop your own ideas. You don't need to take mine." "I know. But that requires actual work, doesn't it? It was easier to claim yours." He leans back. "For what it's worth, I've been telling people the truth now. That it's your invention, that I wasn't involved, that I was an idiot at that dinner." "What are people saying?" "Mostly that I'm an idiot." He almost smiles. "Which is fair." We sit in silence for a moment. Then Austin asks, "Is there any way I could actually help now? For real, not pretending. Even just promoting your work or connecting you with people." "I consider this." "Austin, I appreciate the offer. But right now I need to establish that this is my achievement. Maybe later, if there's something legitimate you could help with, we can talk. But not now." He nods, understanding. "Fair enough." Over the following months, interest in my device accelerates. A second manufacturer licenses it for industrial applications. A major retailer wants to carry it in their stores. The venture capital firms I met with offer seed funding to expand production. I hired 3 people to help: an electrical engineer, a manufacturing specialist, and a business operations manager. We set up a proper office, no longer working out of my garage. Austin and I reach an uneasy peace. He stops claiming any involvement and actively corrects people who assume he was part of it. He's trying to make amends, and I appreciate that. But the real shift happens when I receive an invitation to speak at Tech Forward, a major industry conference. The topic: independent innovation, building technology outside corporate structures. I spend weeks preparing my presentation. I include photos of my garage workspace, technical diagrams showing my design evolution, and a timeline documenting the 12-month development process. The day of the conference arrives. I'm backstage, nervous, when my phone buzzes with a text from Austin. "Watching the live stream. Proud of you, sis. For real this time." I walk onto the stage to face an audience of 500 tech professionals, investors, and entrepreneurs. The spotlight is bright, the room is quiet, and for a moment I feel overwhelmed. Then I begin. 12 months ago, I had an idea during a power outage. I had no corporate backing, no team, no fancy lab. Just my garage, some components ordered online, and determination. My presentation lasts 45 minutes. I walk through the technical challenges, the financial constraints of self-funding, the isolation of working alone, and the satisfaction of seeing an idea become reality. Near the end, I address something I hadn't planned to discuss. The hardest part of independent innovation isn't always the technical challenges. Sometimes it's protecting your work from people who want to claim credit without putting in the effort. The audience leans forward. Several people take notes. Shortly after completing my device, someone close to me publicly claimed it as their own work. They hadn't built it, hadn't designed it, hadn't solved the problems. But they wanted the recognition. I pause. That's when I learned that documentation isn't just about technical development. It's about protection. Patents, timestamps, development logs, they all proved who actually did the work. After the presentation, dozens of people line up to ask questions and exchange contact information. 3 are fellow inventors who experienced similar credit theft. 5 are investors interested in future projects. 2 are journalists wanting to feature my story. But the most surprising approach comes from an older woman who introduces herself as Dr. Patricia Hughes, a professor at a nearby engineering school. Sophia, that was excellent. I wonder if you'd consider being a guest lecturer for my engineering ethics class. Your experience with intellectual property and credit attribution would be invaluable for students. I'd be honored. Dr. Hughes smiles. You've turned a difficult experience into a teaching opportunity. That takes character. The weeks following the conference bring unexpected opportunities. 3 universities invited me to speak. 2 tech incubators want me to mentor their early-stage inventors. A documentary filmmaker asks to feature my story in a series about independent innovation. But the most significant development comes from Horizon Ventures, a major investment firm. They propose a deal, $2 million in funding to scale production, in exchange for 15% equity in a company I'd establish around my technology. I met with their team multiple times. They're serious, professional, and most importantly, they recognize me as the sole inventor and founder. Sophia, we believe your energy harvesting technology is just the beginning, their lead partner explains. With proper funding and support, you could develop an entire product line. I spent a week considering the offer, consulting with Vanessa and my small team. The terms are fair, the funding would accelerate everything, and I'd retain majority control. I accepted the offer. That evening I texted Austin, just signed a major investment deal. Company valuation is $12 million. His response comes immediately, amazing, that's incredible, Sophia. Congratulations. Then another message, thank you for not letting my stupidity stop you. I smile at my phone. You tried. You failed. I succeeded anyway. Austin sends back a laughing emoji, then, as it should be. 6 months after the TechForward conference, I'm operating out of a proper headquarters with 12 employees. We've sold over 15,000 units of the energy harvesting device. Client reviews are overwhelmingly positive. Tech bloggers call it revolutionary. Environmental groups praise its sustainability. The royalties from Blue Tech and my second licensing partner generate steady revenue. The Horizon Ventures funding is being used to develop 2 additional products based on the same core technology. Austin and I have found a new normal. He started working on his own entrepreneurial project. Something completely his own, in a field he actually understands. He's humble now, realistic about his abilities, and he no longer tries to piggyback on my success. One Saturday he visited my new office. I give him a tour, showing him the prototyping lab, the testing facilities, and the team workspace. This is amazing, Sophia, he says, genuinely impressed. You built all this from that garage. And a lot of hard work. And talent. And persistence. And not letting anyone stop you. He pauses at a wall where my original patent certificate is framed. Not even me when I tried. You didn't try very hard, I tease. 2 visits in 12 months. That's lazy credit stealing. Austin laughs. If I'm going to steal credit next time, I'll at least show up more often. There better not be a next time. There won't be. I learned my lesson. He looks at me seriously. I'm genuinely proud of you, Sophia. Not proud in the I want to take credit way. Proud in the my sister is brilliant and accomplished way. It's the acknowledgement I needed from him. Not at the beginning but now, after I've proven myself independently of his opinion. 9 months later, Tech Venture magazine features me on their cover. The headline, Sophia Foster, From Garage Inventor to Tech Entrepreneur. The article chronicles my full journey. The initial concept, the lonely development process, Austin's attempt to claim credit, the patent approval that changed everything, and the rapid growth of my company. Austin is mentioned briefly in a context that's both honest and fair. Foster's brother initially misrepresented his involvement in the invention, a mistake he has since acknowledged and apologized for. The incident taught Foster the importance of protecting intellectual property and documenting independent work. The article goes viral beyond just tech circles. Business schools use it as a case study. Innovation blogs analyze my development methodology. Aspiring inventors cite it as inspiration. I receive messages from strangers around the world sharing their own stories of having ideas stolen or credit taken unfairly. Many thank me for speaking openly about the experience. One message particularly resonates. It's from a young engineering student. I watched my lab partner take credit for my senior project design. I didn't know how to fight back. Your story showed me that documentation and patents are my protection. Thank you for being honest about what happened to you. I respond personally. Document everything. Trust your work more than others' words. And never let anyone make you feel like your achievements aren't yours. A year after that family dinner where Austin claimed my invention, we gathered for Mom's birthday again. Same dining room, same relatives, but everything else is different. This time when someone asks about Sophia's company, Austin immediately redirects. You should ask Sophia about it. It's all her work. I give a brief update. The company now has 20 employees, we're developing 3 new products, revenue is exceeding projections. I keep it modest but the success speaks for itself. Uncle Frank, who'd congratulated Austin so enthusiastically last year, now says, Sophia, I owe you an apology. Last year I didn't realize Austin was, well, exaggerating his involvement. Your accomplishment is impressive. Thank you, Uncle Frank. After dinner, Dad pulls me aside. Sophia, your mother and I have been talking. We're sorry we didn't question Austin's claims last year. We should have known you better. You've always been the one who does the work quietly. It's okay, Dad. Sometimes the quiet ones need to speak up louder. Sometimes the loud ones need to be quiet and listen, he says, glancing at Austin across the room. Later, as people are leaving, Austin and I find ourselves alone in the kitchen again, just like last year. Different conversation this time, Austin notes. Very different. For what it's worth, I've learned something from all this. What's that? That stealing credit might give you a moment of glory, but building something real gives you lasting pride. He rinses his wine glass. I feel better about my small actual accomplishments now than I ever did pretending your big ones were mine. I smile. Good. That's growth. 18 months after launching my company, I'm approached by Global Tech International, one of the world's largest technology manufacturers. They want to acquire my company for $48 million. The offer is staggering, life-changing, but it also means giving up control of what I built. I spend weeks in negotiations bringing in lawyers and financial advisors. We restructure the deal. Global Tech will acquire a majority stake, but I retain operational control and continue as CEO. The revised offer is $35 million with guaranteed autonomy. I accept. The news makes major business publications. Independent inventor sells company for $35 million just 2 years after launch. Messages pour in. Former colleagues from my day job congratulating me. Engineering professors asking me to speak to students. Investors wanting to fund my next venture. And a message from Austin. You did it. From garage to $35 million in 2 years. I'm in awe. I replied, thank you. And thank you for not being in my way once you realized you couldn't take credit. His response, cheapest lesson I ever learned. It cost me nothing but my ego. With the acquisition complete, I'm now CEO of what's essentially my own division within Global Tech. I have resources I could only dream of 2 years ago. A full R&D team, manufacturing facilities, global distribution networks. But I haven't forgotten the garage where it all started. I keep my original workspace exactly as it was, preserved as a reminder of where innovation begins, not in corporate labs, but in determined individuals willing to work alone and persist through failures. I hired 3 young inventors as my first R&D team members. All 3 are people whose ideas were dismissed or stolen at previous jobs. I tell them, here, your work is yours. Your name goes on your inventions. No one takes credit for what you build. We start developing next-generation energy harvesting devices, expanding into wearable technology and emergency power systems. Every project is documented meticulously, every contributor properly credited. Austin visits the global tech facility during a family trip. He tours the labs where 20 engineers work on projects I conceived. You built this, he says, not as a question but as an acknowledgement. Yes. And everyone here knows it because my name is on the patents, the papers, and the company documents. As it should be. We walk past a wall displaying framed patents. 7 are in my name. 3 are collaborative with my team members, all clearly credited. Do you ever think about that dinner? Austin asks. When I claimed it was mine? Sometimes. Usually when I'm signing patent applications or license agreements. I smile. It reminds me why documentation matters. 2 years after the acquisition, my division has grown to 150 employees across 4 locations. We've launched 8 products, filed 23 patents, and generated over $60 million in revenue for global tech. I'm invited to give the keynote address at the National Innovation Summit, the largest gathering of inventors, entrepreneurs, and tech leaders in the country. The speech I prepared is titled, "They Tried to Take Credit. The Patent Proved Otherwise." Standing before 3,000 people, I tell my complete story. The garage development. Austin's claim at the family dinner. The patent email that arrived at exactly the right moment. The companies that recognized me as the true inventor. The growth that followed when credit went where it belonged. Intellectual property protection isn't just legal paperwork, I say. It's dignity. It's proof. It's the difference between someone stealing your achievement and having to acknowledge it belongs to you. The standing ovation lasts several minutes. Afterward, a line forms. Inventors wanting advice, entrepreneurs seeking mentorship, students asking how to protect their own work. One young man tells me, "My co-founder tried to cut me out of our startup. Your story gave me courage to fight back with my documentation. I won. Thank you." Stories like that make everything worthwhile. Not just my success but helping others protect theirs. 3 years after Austin tried to claim my invention at that family dinner, I'm sitting in my corner office reviewing patent applications. My division holds 46 patents now, all properly attributed to their actual inventors. I pull up my email and see a message that makes me smile. Your patent dashboard has been updated. I click through to the U.S. Patent Office interface. Dozens of patents, all with clear documentation. Licensing agreements generating steady royalties. Legal protection that no one can challenge. Every entry lists the actual inventors. Every contribution is documented. Every achievement belongs to the person who earned it. My phone buzzes. A text from Austin. Just saw your profile in Forbes 30 Under 30. Incredible, Sophia. You're exactly where you deserve to be. I reply, thanks. It's where the patent filing said I'd be all along. Austin sends back a laughing emoji and one more message. The patent never lies. He's right about that. When he raised his glass at that family dinner 3 years ago and claimed my eco-device was his, the patent office had already received my application. When he told everyone the work was his, federal records proved it was mine. When he tried to steal credit, legal documentation destroyed his claim. I close my laptop and look out over the city. 3 years ago I was working alone in a garage, afraid someone might steal my achievement. Now I run a division of a major corporation, mentor young inventors, and teach others how to protect their work. Austin learned that taking credit for others' work always backfires eventually. I learned that documentation and patents are the best defense against credit thieves. And sometimes, justice is just an email arriving at exactly the right moment, interrupting a lie before it can take root. The patent said I was the inventor. Everything that followed proved it. And that's all the vindication I ever needed.